What do you think Singaporeans can rap about?
I mean, everyone has their own problems. You can rap about problems. You can do love songs. You can do just like bangers for the club. You can do songs that are great to dance to. Just anything that sounds good, to be honest. I think content-wise, who's gonna fact-check everything? But just don't go crazy and say you're a mob boss and 20 Rolls Royces and all those stuff.
When you're just eating chicken rice at Amokyo or something.
Exactly. Yeah, I think as long as it sounds good. But I think in Singaporean context, I think the strongest form of hip-hop is to do English with your second language.
So how I first discovered you was actually through indie drip lah. And then I was just like, yo, this is like super high quality. It is not your typical, local stuff, right? And then when I played it at Capital, I was like resident at Zouk at that point. I was playing it at Capital. Someone was like, hey, this is like new Chris Brown. And I'm like, dude, this is from Singapore, man. He's like, oh shit.
Chris Doug Brown.
Yeah. And then I'm like, wow, holy shit. And then after that, then slowly with Cold World and more other singles, and then more and more songs. And then that's how I eventually did like a remix cover track with you, Lucid Dreams.
What, is it
it's like some dubstep.
Dubstep, yes.
We were just like fucking around. Early days, I wasn't pretty sure. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. So my production is like subpar, but your vocals are like so good. It like helped me so much.
The beat was crazy. The beat was crazy actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. Are you like a singer or a rapper or both, and now you're like trying to transition into like the disco?
Yeah. Right. I think like I'm a singer first and then a rapper second.
Right.
But ultimately I see myself as like an executive producer. Like I don't just do one genre like R&B or rap. Like I try to do everything else. Like I even got like indie songs. I even got rock and roll songs, disco songs. So I try to do like every genre. Ultimately what I want to do is be like a producer and take the back step and like do it for someone else. So that was actually my goal when I started music.
Right.
I wanted to put out like different type of songs to show that, okay, I can write in this style, I can write in that style. So if you need me to help out your artists, I can do that. But I ended up doing it myself. Then I thought it was a joke for like 2 years, I'm going to stop, or 1 year, I'm going to stop. Then I kept going and going, and it's been like 6 years and I haven't stopped, so.
Okay lah, like you are now like the face, or I guess it's like different kind of talent lah. And then you can executive produce, and then like if someone cannot carry out your vision, and then you're like, hey, fuck it, man, I'm gonna do it myself. And then, okay, if it works lah,
Yeah. I used to like spam people with demo tracks.
Yeah.
Like like artists with like a lot more following than me, which would never reply me, of course. So I'll like send them demo tracks. And like, hey, I got this song. If you want it, you can just take it. I wrote everything. I recorded everything. They didn't end up taking it, so I just posted myself.
I know the success example is like, you need to like message like 500 people just to get one person to reply. Those are like hashtag hustle, I don't sleep, that kind of story.
Yeah, but people can see that you're going to spam someone, because you cannot custom make like every message, right? They're going to know that, okay, this is just template that he's doing or she's doing. So it's tough. Which
kind of brings upon the dawn of the indie artist lah, basically. Yeah, last time you used to be successful. The success recipe is to join a record label, and then boom, they will push you. Yeah. But what's different now? Why can't record label used to do what they used to do?
I think there's so much competition. Like you got indie artists, and then you got your record labels. Your record labels are also fighting with other accounts. Like you got all these promotional accounts also. So everyone is basically fighting for the same playing field, right? So I think the record labels definitely have a lot of leverage, and they have all the contacts to
the resources, the funding.
Yeah, to put you in a place where you want to be.
Yeah.
But also like to get signed in today's world, I think it's a lot harder. Like you need to justify why you need to be signed. Because they already can pair you up with a songwriter, a producer and everything and make you sound fantastic. Even if you're average, right?
Honestly,
They can market you very well.
Yeah.
But you got to have some sort of following like at the start to justify why you wouldn't flop in the next 2-3 years.
Correct. And I guess like social media kind of like level the whole entire playing field already lah.
Yeah, like everyone is like their own businessman or businesswoman now.
Everybody is like everything. Their own graphic designer, their own executive producer, their own everything's
Yeah, and it's not easy. You need to have like so many skills.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So you're constantly like behind the curve.
Yeah. And then for yourself, like I mentioned before we start this podcast, is like your release schedule is not very typical. Like most people are just like spamming, and then see which one hit, and then they just go with it. like you know, when I spoke with Faris Jabba, we spoke about Migos album, Chris Brown album, who else? Everybody's like dropping 40, 50 songs a year, you know, that kind of, it's very typical, right? No? Yeah, but for you, it's like 1 a year, or maybe 2 a year, that kind of like, you know, and then it's just like, wow, everything's just doing well, you know, like, is there like a secret sauce behind it, or is it maybe the secret of the wavy community pumping, you know?
Not really. I think that used to work like a certain point of time.
Because
like, I used to do like one single and then do shows in between, and then go for all these events and then like all
get
these
some footage.
Like, so you get the traction going, and then before you release the next one, you already got like the momentum and the network, right? But like I think after COVID, like you needed to be a lot more consistent. Like even with your social media posts and like the way you drop your music, how you drop your music, who you cater it to, I think, you know, you really need to look at the metrics. You need to start acting like a label. So that's like what I started doing. Cause like, as I was saying, like before the podcast started, like the algorithm was kicking my ass. Like it worked that 2 songs, like every 6 months or what worked. And then after a while, they're just like, okay, I think like most of the DSPs and social media platforms just started saying, we need more consistency. Like a lot more people are, you know, getting involved in the music business. So you need to really like
from here I have like 2 train of thought. I don't even know which one to start first. Okay, maybe I can talk about like the algorithm kicking your ass, and then we think about the timeline, right? It is actually pre-COVID, you know, the 2 songs a year kind of did well, but then you have like a 2-year COVID time skip plus 1 year work personal life time skip, so like 3 years time skip. Then the social media algorithm just like, wow, you know,
just went haywire.
And then you try to use the old formula, it's like, okay, shit, it's not working. And then like what are like some new measures that, you know, you come to realization or you're gonna implement?
I think consistency, also the type of like music you want to make, and like ultimately what is the message that you want to project, right?
So consistency in sound and put out frequency also.
So back then I think it was quite easy to sort of get ahead of the curve if you did something that was hot at that point.
Oh, like covers
covers, or like, okay, I make for example, like a Post Malone type of song is like popping at the moment. I do something with a similar BPM, a similar vibe, like a heartbreak sort of vibe.
21 Savage type beat. You know?
Exactly.
Those kind of like YouTube channels.
Exactly. And then you go and search like, oh, who's this guy, or what's he doing, blah, blah, blah. And then they start getting invested into your music. So, but now I think what people want to see is like something different. Like, what can you bring to the table? So like you got to constantly evolve. I think like, I mean, even for you as well in the DJing scene, like you got to bring something different all the time.
Yeah, it's very hard, especially when you see like even the biggest artists in the world, like David Guetta, right? They are like they are just reinventing the old track. Like, you know, David Guetta new song, right, is with One Republic, and then it's a cover of the Dragostea Dinte song, the No Ma No Ma eh. Then they just bring that shit back, you know, and then it's just like popping. They're not even reinventing anything new. So even the biggest artists in the world also having trouble inventing new stuff, right? Wow. For us, right, even lesser resources would be even harder to like kind of break through this.
You really got to like break into that whole creative zone and try and see what you can come up with. That's the hardest part. But but you look at like Tiesto. How many years has he been doing it? Every song
I don't get it. How Tiesto do it?
How does he do it? Like, how does he get every song to do so well? And how many years has he been doing it for? And he's like at least what, like 45? Is he?
He is, I think, 51 DJ for 30 something, 40 years or something.
Could be out
there. He started from trance, what? Dude, now he's doing like UK garage, house music, future bass, everything he do.
He's doing everything. He's like just like the face of the music now. He's not even like a DJ anymore. Like he represents a lot more.
I mean, like, but he got a lot of backlash, you know, because he used to be so big in trance, right? And then people like, hey, you left trance, you know, you're no longer authentic, blah blah blah.
But the artist has to evolve. It's like Kanye West. We like the old Kanye.
But Kanye still kind of like have that sound, right? It's not too like, suddenly Kanye do, I don't know, like Mambo or something. K-pop. I can't wait, man. Like one day, I don't know, maybe like BTS RM or something featuring Kanye.
I see it happening.
Right.
Yeah, you already see like Travis Scott doing K-pop and all that, right?
Speaking of Tiesto, Snoop Dogg is like Tiesto, right? It's like the hip-hop version, right? You know, he does so many genres, you know.
Yeah, he did like this. He had the Snoop Lion face where he did like Rasta and all.
And then he squash his beef with Eminem, and then put out a sick bar with Eminem. Wow, that was also crazy.
But he's like a marketing genius.
Yeah, he's a marketing genius, and it transcend generation. You know, now his son is also taking the reins in like fintech.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Brodius Cornelio.
Or Brothers Jackson or something, right?
Brodius something. Yeah, but he always tried to name himself as Snoop Dogg's son.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's riding off the brand.
Yeah. So I think it's smart,
Okay.
until you build something of your own that's beyond that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for instant, I don't know, recognizability or credibility.
Yeah.
So just now I was saying like there's two train of thought, right? The second train of thought, right, is actually because last time you were putting out 2 songs a year and then can make it, every song is successful, and then now we need to put out more frequency.
Yeah.
Probably because of algorithm, also probably because of more competition, like more people putting out music, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing, if music cannot make money, right, why more and more people want to be musician? I just thought of it, like
yeah.
Weird, right?
I think a lot of people like at least once in their life like try to make music, but I think the crazy ones who keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like it takes a different sort of like craziness to keep doing it. Like even if you're not
making money
at the level or making money, like never mind money. Like even if you're not like, for example, like not seeing any movement, like no one's listening to it. It takes some sort of craziness to keep doing it over and over again. So I believe like, when you're kids and all, like you like singing, you like dancing. I think like everyone likes it, right? Everyone tried it at some point of time, but it takes like a different sort of character to keep doing it over and over again. But to your statement saying that there's no money in it and why people want to join it, I think people got a lot more to express these days.
Yeah.
With what's happening in the world also.
And I also think that it has to do with the age of the great resignation. After COVID, right, there's a lot of people like resign, right? Because they rather have more time than more money.
Yeah.
They, whatever, I sacrifice this job, right? I go find something more lepak, get less money, but I got more me time.
Yeah.
So I guess like the, I don't even call it like era or, the culture is like shifting already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what they don't get is like, music is a job in itself.
Wow, you must stay consistent, you must stay disciplined. People don't listen,
and
you still need to promote.
You have to do business development, you have to do graphic design, you have to do mixing, mastering, you have to do recording, you have to send out so many emails just to get a show booked, so many emails just to get your campaigns or advertising campaigns.
Yeah.
You basically act like a label. You're doing like a 20 people job by yourself.
If you want to be indie, but then again, it's very hard to be signed. You need to be already there.
Yeah, it's hard to be signed and even harder to be indie.
Even harder to be indie. Yeah. So before we go on more about music, right, there has to be something that kind of like fuels the passion. Like for me, I also have a day job, and then for you, you also have a day job. I think it's like quite interesting. You are like headhunter or something like that, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I think you headhunter for like quite a while. Right? That's like your main trait,
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I'm good at outside of music.
Yeah, because since I'm like running a company, like pseudo company of my own, right?
Yeah.
Like what is the criteria of like a good hire? It's so difficult to pick the right person, Because the other day I was talking to like a collective owner. He said that you cannot hire someone that's too good. Then later he join 1 year, then he leave, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, he gets headhunted also.
Oh, yeah.
And also like the salaries are a lot more inflated, right? Once they're good. But I think it's a gamble. Like you can say that this person is good or they've got like a really good CV or background or anything, but ultimately it's a gamble. They might join the company and not like it, because of the culture or structure or whatever. So I think everything is a gamble. You can take like a really lousy person and turn him into a good person.
Then he's out.
Or a good person coming and then, they turn lousy because they just, not in the right fit. I have a lot of football analogies for that. So
yeah. And do you handle the interview process as well?
No.
Right.
We just basically like find people. That's the easy part. The hardest part is convincing people to use the services for headhunting, which is not cheap. It's actually a lot more cheaper to hire someone to do it internally.
Wow. But
so sales,
headhunting
basically.
is like you have like a basic pay and then per person you headhunt, you get commission or something like that, right? Does it work that way?
Yeah. I mean, that's the exciting part. Like you can get like a sizable amount of commissions if you do really well. But to do really well is a lot of work.
Yeah, you need to network, you need to like...
It's non-stop. It's 7 days a week. 24 hours. Your clients are not only in Singapore, it's like all over, APAC basically. So different time zones, so you gotta adjust.
Probably that's why you don't have enough time for music already lah. Focus on the earning money part. But then you can choose to like, don't so chiong, Right.
Yeah, but I was still making music. Like I still did like my weekly or bi-weekly routines of like recording music, but I just didn't put it out because it's not the music that's a hard part. Like I think it's very easy to make the music. I just hated the promotional part, like the promotional campaign. Like 4 weeks out you need to do this, and like 2 weeks before you need to do this, and then after you drop you need to also do that. I think that's the part where I just didn't like it. Not like I didn't have time. I just didn't like it enough to do it.
Because if you look at like a record label, they split the money, right? There's one for recording, and then one for distribution, and then one for like marketing or something like that, right? Is it like songwriter split, producer split, and also label has like their marketing split and distribution split? So all these are like 4 pillars of putting out a song, and they are each of them are full-time jobs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's not easy to do it by yourself because like I said, like you're doing a job of 20 people.
Yeah. So if you don't put out by yourself, then like that you just get 50% of the payout, which is actually not a lot, to be honest.
But but the label can also accelerate your growth, right?
That's
your visibility as well.
Yeah.
And it's not just the streams that matter, it's the shows actually. The shows is the one where I think most musicians get most of their bread.
Okay. And so like I said about previously, right? Most Singapore artists, actually I don't really see a lot of Singapore artists are playing the spamming game. I'm not sure if you know Kato on the track. It was kind of like TikTok
from TikTok,
producers.
yeah.
Dude, the amount of shit they are putting out is like 5 a day, 8 a day.
5 beats a day?
Yeah, they are like putting out 5 pieces of content.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And then like daily beats is actually possible because I did daily beats for a while. Beats is like
what's daily beats again?
Put out daily.
Oh, daily beats.
Yeah,
okay.
Put out 8 bars daily on TikTok and then let people duet. Then
does it work?
Yeah. So there are some people that freestyle to it. I have one that like got pretty good traction when I did like a hip hop beat, and then it's like quite cool. It's like somebody's like freestyling to my track.
Yeah.
But dude, the grind is crazy. I don't
5
understand,
beats a day. I mean, he's probably doing it.
No, he's like putting a beat a day, but then the thing is in between, right? He's talking about like lessons, like record label, how to manage them, that kind of personal life story. So it's like putting out 5 pieces of content a day, that kind of thing.
Which is what TikTok encourages, right?
Yeah, I guess.
To post more frequently.
Yeah. But then the thing is with TikTok right now, I don't know whether they will get out of US and all that because US trying to ban, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Is TikTok still like kind of viable app? Or are we going to all go back to Instagram?
Yeah, but Instagram still like there's so much clutter now. Like you can't even see your friends posts these days because you got like the major accounts like. For example, like I follow NBA account, shout out NBA, right? So they post like 4, 5, 6 times a day.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you got your other like whatever, like martial arts or whatever
they will win, man.
Follow. Yeah, and you can't even see your friends or your family anymore.
Yeah.
You got to scroll like all the way down, or they don't even end up going on the feed.
Actually, there's top left hand corner you can filter by.
Yeah, you're following, right? But then you're following, and then it goes to all the accounts that you follow, like your NBA, your Premier League, your
right.
music, your.
Maybe they should do one for close friends or something, exactly. A relative or something.
Exactly, like not humans.
Yeah. And just now you were saying that you are trying to head towards this like new music direction, which is like disco, right?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like an EP or just like a one-off? Or?
I've got like one that it's on the 7th of June. It's called Sanctify. I've actually got like enough for an EP. Like I usually make songs in bunches. So like when I do like one disco song, I put like 5 of it. I put it in one folder, name it the disco folder, of course. And then like I do another genre, and then I do like another 5. Because I want to compare, and then out of the 5, I choose the best ones. But this is a new method that I adopted. Like before that, I was just like, oh yeah, this is a banger, okay.
Just one.
Put it out, yeah.
Right.
So this is like a lot more quality focused, quality control, I would say.
But the problem with music, right, is because it's so like individualized, so personalized, right? Like for example, if you think it's a banger, right, but does the world agree with you also? That's also right. It's very subjective also. So that's also I guess the reason why people put out so much.
Just to get like a litmus test, yeah. Just to see what hits and like what flops.
Yeah, correct.
But ultimately, like you just gotta like what you're doing, I think.
Yeah, that's true lah. Then you can, keep going when the numbers are not doing well.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier to love it to love it when it flops.
Yeah, I came across this question from my past podcast. Right, it's like, how come? Like for example, if you're a craftsman, right, like you craft like statues or you make maybe movies, you just keep making better and better movies. But when it comes to music, right, it's not that way, you know. Like
Really?
you can be One Republic, right? But your song can damn good, then suddenly flop, some damn good, then flop, you know, there's no like keep going better and better and better. You know?
Because I think the trends change like almost every 2 weeks. It's so hard to like decipher what people need at the moment. But I think why that happens is because they just want to do what they want to do.
Right.
Unless they can play the game where, okay, like this sound is hot, I do this. Like whatever's trending, I just hop on it. You know, there's some artists out there who are like doing that as well, like major artists, of course.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to get ahead of the curve. But I think like these artists like are really vested into what they like at the moment, and that's what they want to do at the moment.
Yeah, I think the people that just do what they like is more indie lah. Because if you are signed to a record label, wow, then you got deliverables, you got KPI, all that kind of thing. Then you kind of more restricted. You know, this sound is hot. Hey, no choice. I need to go. Yeah, that's the trouble. Yeah, and then I was remembering my conversation with Faris, right? He said that when you start out MCs, you know, you will do MCing in a club and all that kind of thing. But then the thing is, as he's like growing a stronger relationship with his religion, right? Then he stopped drinking that much already lah.
Okay.
So
cool.
What is the process of growing as a rapper? Do you have to start out in the clubs, you know, MCing, get yourself known, or you know, just be a SoundCloud rapper, just put out tracks non-stop?
I think both is great, but like that face-to-face interaction is undefeated. I think if you're doing like MCing and all, like you already got like a following behind you.
Yeah.
So you got traction whenever you drop something. I think that's like a good way. And then you also learn how to like control the crowd. Because some people like are really good with writing songs, producing songs. But when it comes to stage presence, like that's where they sort of, you know, struggle. So I think if you can master that, which is the harder part actually, performing, then I think it's a lot easy. So I think, yeah, most rappers should start MCing
in the club. Yeah, and because you have been part of this like group called Wavy, which is like one of the biggest hip hop groups in Singapore, and then you know you have that weekly party or monthly parties, and then you are like always there MCing. But then you will come to a point where, okay, you are so swamped with adulting, you know, like myself, I also don't really perform much already.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So do you feel like the performance mojo will slowly go away, or you still feel like, okay, you know what, actually it's like riding a bicycle, you know, you can get it back?
I think the more you do it, the better you get. Like you don't lose steam of performance because you know
how to get into the state of mind.
Yeah, how to get into the state of mind and like how to control the crowd and like how to flow with people and all. I think like the more you do, you just become very good at it.
Yeah,
it doesn't go away for some reason. Like I haven't done like a show in like 4 or 5 months. Then I did one, but it felt like I was, you know, the momentum was there already.
The on-off switch already, prepare already.
Yeah. You just know like how to connect with the people and like what hits.
Yeah.
So how often do you perform now?
Oh, last time, dude, when it was like Zouk, it was like 4 times a week, man. Yeah, I'm so like, and then now it's like from once a month, and then slowly I think gonna become like once every other month, like lesser and lesser, and then I start focusing more on content creation. Because the problem with DJing in Singapore is that they just the audience just want to be entertained, and then their range of acceptance is very small.
They like in terms of the genre?
Yeah, they just want Despacito, they just want Taylor Swift, you know, it's like a very few, they cannot accept the other stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to express yourself musically, you won't get paid, you won't get booked, and that's just the reality. And then if you really want to make a living, you really have to have a branding for like bigger venues to book you. Yeah.
How do you do that though? Like, do you just have to play like the stuff that people like, or do you have to come up with like a very new niche?
For us, we try to stick in like a gray area where we play our own sound, but then it's still acceptable to the masses But it's very hard to get booked by you know, your typical club So we often play at other DJs' events. So now a lot of DJs become their own promoters, their own event creators as well, and then that's where we hop into. It's like wavy you know, because you are playing so new school, right?
Yeah.
That the clubs haven't catch up yet, right? Then
Yeah.
no choice, what? You have to create your own audience, your own party. Right? It's the same.
That's the best. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like the goal, right? Basically,
Yeah.
like you
Just
create
so
your
now
own
imagine
following.
this, right? But on steroids. Every other DJ is doing that now. So it's like a lot of pop-up is happening now. So many.
Yeah, I see like a lot of DJs doing like Afro beats now.
Yeah. One or two lah.
Really?
But they are like big.
Yeah, like I mean, it's such a big sound, like such a big genre. I think like a lot of people are slowly catching on to it.
Correct. And then I guess that's where it's like a good platform for like open decks for DJs to go up or MCs to,
Yeah.
especially if you can do a freestyle, to you tell the DJ, hey, program like a 8-bar instrumental for me to do a freestyle. Wow, then you really can showcase at that short 30 seconds. Wow, dude, that will be like super good for the content, man.
Yeah, I think the crowd will like it also. It's a lot more different than all the other clubs.
Correct. And then for yourself, what kind of shows are you like doing now? Do you still do club shows or more like corporate or?
Club shows still. Well, the next one I'm doing is Culture with Sounds of Fi. That's like a hip hop. I think Faris is on it as well.
Yep.
So we're
you have
doing
this hip hop mood or something like that. Right?
Hip hop, yeah. I've got to dig out the old tracks and start rapping again. So yeah, I mean, like these sort of events for now. I haven't done any corporate shows actually.
Right.
It's just mostly like gigs or like mini festivals.
But when did you leave Singapore? Was it like this last year?
No, I'm still in Singapore, but like I shuttle back and forth.
Oh, back and forth, right?
But I will be permanently based overseas, towards Q4 this year.
Oh, so no longer in Singapore most of the time.
Yeah.
Where will we be like?
Europe.
Europe,
Yes.
Oh, Europe, the rap scene. How is the rap scene there? Like the music scene in general?
I mean, it's great. Like you got all those guys from UK, France, Germany. Amsterdam is huge. Like they always give a platform for new artists and like new sounds. And you got like your others as well, like Italy, Spain. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not going there with like an idea of music. It's more for like personal stuff.
Yeah. Because we have a friend, his name is DJ Crumbs, also Afro beat.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, good guy.
Dude, Amsterdam one, right?
Yeah,
and then, got connected with the DJs there. It's like he moved there for work and then so happened, Yeah. And it's like pretty crazy lah. Like you would think, you would have thought like Amsterdam is like, they legalize everything and it's like the capital of EDM, right? But then dude, like hip hop, everything all can work.
Hip hop, Afro beats, everything.
Yeah.
Reggaeton.
Super open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they appreciate like new sounds.
Yeah.
And they're always like a forward-moving culture there.
One of my friends said that, right, he got more gigs, right, in one day of PRing with people at the club there, right, than one whole year in Singapore. Yeah, it's really like, hey, you want to play my show, And then everybody in the dance floor is like, they are part of the scene, part of the industry kind of thing.
But I think like, it's just the way it is. Like you look at the magnitude of the country and the scale of the country, it's so small. Like, and like the industry is not that old. So you can't fault like, why we have like a lack of opportunity. Well, for me, from my perspective, we always have to look abroad, like Indonesia or Malaysia or Thailand or Philippines to like try and grow the momentum. I don't think that anyone wants to stay in Singapore, like keep their music within Singapore. I think they want to break that border, beyond the border. Sorry.
So for now, you're trying to break the stereotype of you yourself being classified as a hip hop R&B artist. You want to be...
Yeah. I actually don't like being called a rapper. I don't know why. Like, I feel like it just puts me in a certain sector that, he can only rap. So
for me, my perspective was I thought you sing more than you rap.
Yeah, but people started calling me a rapper, so and then I started rapping. So I mean, I didn't help myself with that.
Yeah, and then but beyond singer, rapper, are you gonna, I don't know, start dance or something?
I can't. My knees can't take it.
Yeah, because the other day, right, my girlfriend and I, we were just like scrolling through Instagram, right? Then we start seeing like DJs doing strip show, and it's two guy DJs, And then I'm like, dude, is that like my next evolution? I have to go there to go gym and all that.
A strip show?
Yeah, it's like
like a TikTok.
No. What's that movie? The guy. Magic Mike DJ kind of thing. Yeah, wow, dude.
Is it hot? Like, is it popping now? Or?
I don't know lah, but for me, I'm quite close with the underground DJs and also like the mainstream clubs, right? Yeah. So that kind of thing is more like the new China club concept.
Okay.
You know, because there's quite a lot of China investors coming to Singapore, and then they're opening their own clubs, you know, and then they start to introduce like this kind of concepts that's like uniquely their country lah.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see more and more of this kind of like stuff. Not only just like DJ strip show, but also live, you know, DJs that sing and then start playing instrument and all that kind of thing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So the live performance scene start to like get more and more competitive in a way that what you can do live lah. Yeah, so I don't know, man. How are we gonna like fight against that? I don't know about you lah, but personally, I'm not gonna go that direction.
So you're just gonna like
just
keep
focus
doing
on
what
music,
you're doing.
you know. But I don't know, would that be enough for the future? You know, maybe music not enough.
I think
really,
like
you know?
even like dancers would be good. I think like for example, if you're at Marquee, if you got like backup dancers and you got like extra you know props to sort of amplify whatever you're playing, I think that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like the bigger stars in the world, like Bruno Mars or Anderson .Paak or whatever, right? They are all like sing, rap, dance, all in one, like BTS
Triple
or
threat,
yeah, you have to, you know, if not that kind of like there's a certain size, you can only grow at a certain size, then like kind of like block already. Yeah.
Unless you're a rapper, you don't need to dance, right? Most rappers don't dance, but look at all the singers; they at least do like a little bit of movement that, you know, captivates the crowd or something.
I mean, Snoop Dogg do is like 2 steps.
Yeah.
The minimal on a minimal.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's how you go pop, right? That's how like people see like, oh, okay, he's not just a gangster rapper.
Yeah, so I don't know lah. So for yourself, I suppose you are like sticking to your lane and then, you know.
I would love to, but I cannot. Like, I physically cannot dance. But like in terms of music, like I want to push it further. Like not just music like soundtracks. I would like to do like different, like maybe for advertising as well.
Oh,
like soundscapes for movies.
So you are producing the beat.
Yeah, like that's what I'm into these days. Like just making sounds actually.
But producing for a movie is more like orchestral, right? There are genres.
Orchestral, and you got like those like atmospheric sounds. Like for example, if you're doing one for Interstellar.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different type of sound. You're doing one for Star Wars, it's a different type of sound.
Correct. The most significant example that I remember was Skrillex was hired by Transformers 4 or something.
Oh, yeah.
To do the sound design for the transforming, like, yeah. Then he's like, dude, how the hell's
It's crazy.
Yeah,
do you know they actually give out awards for like the best soundscapes in a movie?
I think
Star Wars, Not Return of the Jedi. I think the second one or something. They won like the best soundscape because the sound effects in that movie was crazy.
The TIE Fighter, wow, game over, man.
Crazy. Phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you look at a movie, right, everything is like post-production. Even like you're walking on the grass, then the sound. You know? You know, you see all those like TikTok accounts, they do like, I don't know, maybe that could be an interesting TikTok content, right?
Yeah.
You know, you put a TV screen there and then you are like doing it live. Have you watched those kind of?
Those like they get like all those props, like the lightning one as well, right?
Correct. The tin foil kind of thing. And another interesting thing that I saw on your Instagram, right? It's actually something to do with your dad. The fact that he's in the military, right? And then now he's like, it's like he complete main quest with it, then just doing side quests.
Yeah.
Bro, it's fucking insane. 30 years in the SAF, and then I'm like, okay, I time to go in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria and help them do demining. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, talk about balls, right?
Yeah.
That guy has the largest ones. So
how like that? Like, not scary, man. Like, oh my god.
I think he likes it. I think he genuinely likes it. I think he likes the thought of helping people. So I think that's what like drove him out of the SAF and like into this sort of work. I think he works in collaboration with like a Norwegian NGO where they go to like villages and then he interview these villagers and then ask them about like any like ISIS sort of movement or Taliban movement. And then from there, like they start the demining in the village. Because there's like many leftovers from like all the wars in the 90s and 80s.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really drives him. Ultimately, it's like helping people. Like he's always instilled that that being a charitable person is something like we all should do, like or should be like. So I think like that's what his calling is.
I see the most craziest one is like one of his friends, like actually like one of his co-workers actually like died because of the mine when they are trying to demine.
Oh yeah.
Wow, dude, I don't know, like for normal people, it's like traumatized with it.
Yeah.
It's like somebody just beside you just bah, you know.
Yeah. But I think like the ability to stay calm is like a skill
and continue
in itself.
to do this.
Yeah.
Like, yep, okay, next day, let's go, you know?
Yeah, this got to be super calm. I mean, like, I think he, on the field, he's extremely composed. So I think that's how we can keep doing the job.
You have to run through all the measures and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is he like a role model for you? Do you like emulate some of his like principles in life?
Oh, for sure. I think like he always emphasizes on like being a good person and being charitable first. I think that's still with me until today. Like I try to help people as much as I can. I think that's what like I really try to follow, you know, from what his teachings are, what like he's doing in his life. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but then the thing is like, I guess you have to like be self-sufficient, provide for yourself to a certain level, because still remember back in the day, before COVID, not really back in the day, but like couple of years throwback,
4 or 5 years ago.
I got retrenched from Zouk because of COVID, and then wow, dude, it was a super hard time. I had to like transition into like a proper day job, right? Because you know, when doing music, even I had an engineering degree, but I didn't even use it for 5 years already, so it's like practically worthless. And then I had to like find like a proper day job, and then in between that transition, wow, dude, it's like causing me so much trauma. Don't even have mood to do music. Don't even have mood to help other people. You know?
Yeah, you've a lot more stuff to focus on.
Yeah,
right?
so it's like somehow you have to get yourself to that minimum level before you can start being charitable. That's very important. And I think like a lot of people have to understand that, because you cannot simply just demonize people for not helping other people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you need to have the means to do it. Yeah, first of all, yeah.
Yeah, it's a luxury, you know, and a blessing to be able to help other people. So
yeah, it is.
Such a difficult thing to do, but yeah, must jaga yourself first lah.
Yeah.
And then speaking of hip hop, like again, like what I told Faris Jabba, I like kind of like removed myself a little bit from hip hop because of the whole entire concept of beefing. Apparently, it's still a thing.
Yeah.
You know, look at the biggest beef in the world.
Yeah. It's just more like a mainstream sort of beef. It's not like beef, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like freaking like Drake and Kendrick is like obviously the biggest beef now.
Yeah.
And then even someone like T.I. will be like commenting like, dude, it would be perfect for them to like suddenly make this become a tour, like a reunion tour.
Yeah.
Everybody just waiting for the reunion to happen, you know.
Exactly.
Such a great marketing stunt.
Yeah, I think that they should do that. I think they should come together. It's like basically like, it's the equivalent of like Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, they're friends. And every time they come back together and do an event, they earn millions of dollars. So.
Do you believe this is like a major label marketing stunt?
I feel like, I mean, this is my
foolish to screw each other up, right?
Yeah, I think like Drake is at the tail end of his career, Kendrick as well.
Yeah.
And they want to go out and leave like a legacy there. You know, like Pac and Biggie had their thing, right? Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Snoop Dogg all had their thing, right? And then we all remember them for their Ice Cube as well. So I think they want to leave with like a big bang.
But there's a Joe Rogan podcast, right, where he was discussing with this guy, forget who is it already, but they were talking about the rap beef, and then they're saying that back in the day when Pac and Biggie, right, it's like, okay, I do a this, you do a this, okay, that's it already. Because if we reply with the second one, start happening already, you know.
Yeah.
But the Drake and Kendrick one is like, they did like 3 apiece, you know, it's like back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, and then you like scold people's mother, their daughter and everything. It's like, whoa! It's like, you know, we're wondering, is like, will this end badly? Somebody's gonna get shot or whatever. But I think quite unlikely, right, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I don't think it's them who would initiate any shooting. I think it's like the people around them.
Maybe,
who want to take like some sort of affiliation to Drake or Kendrick.
Yeah, but for most, I see this as like a marketing stunt based on the comment section. You know,
it looks like it.
It looks like it, right?
Yeah.
But it's good, man. Win-win for everybody. We are entertained, you know.
Yeah, it was really entertaining. Actually, I was following it closely.
There's a time period like last week, 2 weeks ago, right? That time period, Kendrick, the Spotify monthly listeners faster than Taylor Swift. Whoa.
Yeah, so it worked out in the end and played out
very well. Yeah. But I think something that is a little bit more real in the beefing department of hip hop is Kanye West versus people in power.
Oh, that's crazy. That's not even beef anymore. It's just like
crazy, yeah.
Political turmoil, I think.
yeah, he started calling out the Jews, his anti-Semitism stance, his beef with Adidas, and then he friends with Gap, and then suddenly he start beefing with them, that kind of thing.
It's crazy to beef with brands because they were like
and
so
Sway
many people
is right all this while. Yeah. That's
crazy.
Fuck, dude. And at what point, right? How to say? There's like wrongdoings every single day, lah. But then, at what point is it not cool to call people out? It's like the whistleblower.
Like,
thing,
what's the line?
Yeah, what's the line? Like for example, obviously, like imagine your boss, right? Then you see him doing something bad.
Yeah.
You cannot really because you're getting paid, right?
Yeah.
So at what point where you can still maintain your moral dignity? Wow, this is a very
It's tough. I mean, once you get into a beef, like there's no holes barred, right?
Yeah, but no, even just looking outside of a beef, right? Let's just say you look at like those kind of like daily behaviors like corruption or whatever.
Yeah.
Imagine just imagine, right? You see like a police officer and it's like taking bribes or example and then like are you gonna like call it out or that kind of thing? Some people will be like freaking like social justice warrior, right? But then for us, I guess especially Asian, we're a little bit more like
I think most of us won't do anything like there's always something on a daily basis that is against the rules, right? And if you just keep pointing that out every single day, your life is going to be a hell.
Correct.
I mean, unless it's really, really like something that's unacceptable, like
you'll hurt someone or something like that.
Yeah, or like pedophilia or something, like you have to call that out. Right? You can't be like, oh fuck it. Like it's come to a point where okay, you know what? I can't just be a bystander anymore. Like although I would like to like step away from conflict, but I need to say something.
Yeah, that's a good one because like you also don't want to everyday call people out, Then people are like, fuck this guy, social justice warrior, damn annoying,
Yeah, I mean, there's just some people who actively look for this.
Oh yeah. All these people, bloody hell, keyboard warriors. Yeah. Because for me, right, I'm also very like straightforward. I'm a super straight shooter, right? And then like like especially like for example, if you are in a company and you're doing very well, you are working your ass off, right? But somebody that didn't do much work, right? Then they just boom, go over you, right? It's just because the boss like, and then they start doing like bad stuff at the side, like it's like hurting the company, and then you want to call the person out, but then later you scared your other co-workers also think that dude, you're like a snitch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's also quite difficult to balance this kind of thing.
But in that situation, would you go to the boss and say something?
Wow, actually, historically, I have always been the bitch, man. Always been the shooter. Yeah, I always whack one. But that's why I don't have the problem with attacking, Now I have a problem with how to rein it in. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the whole reason why I'm shooting podcasts, because I just say everything like,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's a very, I believe in like speaking your mind because it like facilitates in like skill share and also, when you know the truth, right? Then people can learn from it and then we can level up. Like for example, if I put out shit music, right, people should comment that it's shit, and then I can like for example, the podcast like episode 40, now it's like episode 50. That's quite recently, right?
Congratulations.
Quite recently, yeah. Quite recently, we've got some people call our audio quality, hey, shit. Dude, the guest is perfect, man, but the audio quality, I cannot watch the whole, I watch 10 minutes, I give up.
Singaporeans are quick at this, bro.
But good, then we like, okay, shit, we know what to do,
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if it was like somewhere that's like more oppressed, right? Then they cannot say whatever they want to say. Wow, dude, then we forever shitty,
Yeah, I think you don't know what to improve on also, right?
Yeah, precisely. But at what point does this have to stop, There's like too much is like bullying. Yeah.
Makes
so
sense.
I guess like we kind of have like a great discussion about that lah. Yeah, this is like for my personal.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Sometimes like you have to say certain things.
And why do you think that hip hop is such a strong genre? Like for example, if you were to compare like any EDM genre like house, techno, right?
Yeah.
I'm really deep in the house and techno scene, right? But then if you see hip hop, right? Wow, dude, it's it's like
it's
like soccer, right, dude?
Yeah.
Like everybody knows about. Yeah. Why is there like such a strong? Why is it like so strong? Like people even dress like the way people dress, like you look hip hop, But you don't have someone like, hey, you look techno. Man, maybe nowadays I don't know,
Yeah.
Right.
I think I mean to what you say, I think that's true. Like the fashion, the culture, and then like the style,
the lifestyle,
and the music itself. It's very translatable to every occasion. You can do it in your car. I mean, you can play it in your car. You can play it in a hotel room. You can play it in a lounge. You can play it in a club. So it's very translatable to many different scenarios or situations or settings. So I think hip hop is very moldable. It's always changing. It's always changing. Like there's a new sound every year. There'll be a new rapper who's like the front runner for a sound, and then you've got like 20 other people doing the same sound.
Yeah. There's like a lot of the word hip hop is very wide definition. It's not just like house music. You know, it's like
You also have like house hip hop, right?
Your new like I don't know like Drake releases all this like the album.
And then you have like your other stuff like garage hip hop and all that. Yeah, it's very moldable. I think the genre will be here to stay for a very long time. I don't see it dying out actually. I think it'll just keep evolving.
So the main element is the rap lah, and then from the rap it can hop onto like many different kind of instrumentations. Yeah, and the argument between what is hip hop and what is rap music is like there's a difference. Yeah, some people say that Bruno Mars Uptown Funk is actually more hip hop than any Pop Smoke track.
It's a funk song, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it is more hip hop in culture wise as compared to like let's just say like a mumble rap track. Mumble rap is like more, I guess, I don't know, make for commerce or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't really tell the story. It's
like cloud rap,
It's just cloud rap. Yeah,
it's just bangers for the club actually, mumble rap.
But not so rooted in the culture lah.
Yeah, but I don't know, like till this day, like who's still rooted into the culture and what is the culture like that they're talking about?
Correct. Last time hip hop was big because they rap about their struggles. Now struggles, like, hey, shit, no Wi-Fi or something.
I mean, these days, okay, so how do you still rap about your struggles if you're already winning? Like, if you're in a position of Jay-Z, right? How do you still rap? Like, you can't relate to the people.
That's why the more famous you get, right, then the song's lesser views, right? Because you start to disconnect with the masses already.
Yeah.
You're balling already, right?
Yeah.
And there's only 1% of the world that's balling, or maybe 0.1%.
But some people can look at it another way, like saying like, oh, like he's rapping about this, like I really want to get to that level also, like of what he's achieving, like his cars or whatever.
Which is why Kendrick, right, whatever Kendrick did, right, was so successful. Like he's balling, obviously he's balling, right? Then he just like write one album every 2 years, right? So he said that, during that time, I just go and live life lah, And then from there, I collect more experience. Then I can write more,
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
And then his songs are all like super deep, philosophical,
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. It's great to like get like life experiences and then put it into a project.
Yeah, since you're balling really, you don't have to constantly work, right? You really have the investments or the passive income or whatever.
Yeah.
You can live life,
I think most artists are like waiting for 2-3 hits. These guys have like 20.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how many Grammy already.
Yeah, exactly.
Enough already. Just chill, live life, and then get a new philosophy.
You need to be inspired by like a certain project. If you're not inspired, don't do it.
Yeah, correct. And I just thought of this, okay? There is a very good way, right, for you to be relatable when you are balling. Do what your father is doing, volunteer.
Oh yeah?
Like for example, okay, imagine I'm Kendrick, right? And then I write that album, damn, like super successful already, right? Okay, now I want to collect more experience. Okay, I go volunteer like third world country or whatever.
And then you talk about what you see.
Yeah, then the next album will still have more content, right?
Yeah.
That's
but
a good idea, man.
Will they set the time aside to volunteer and do stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you balling already, you don't want to suffer, right? But if you like live and breathe the art, you will like, go for it lah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think that's a great way to gain experience.
Right. Yeah. And hip hop, like what 50 Cent say, is always black music, black people's music lah, created by black people.
Yeah.
And then when Singaporean do hip hop, Korean people do hip hop, now China people also do hip hop, right?
Okay.
What is like their version? So let's just look at Singaporeans lah. What is like the Singaporean version?
Singaporean hip hop.
Yeah. Like because black artists and then they rap about their struggles and then that's how it forms the foundation of hip hop and then now there's cloud rap, right?
Yeah.
What do you think Singaporeans can rap about?
I think content-wise, I mean, everyone has their own problems. You can rap about problems. You can do love songs. You can do just like bangers for the club. You can do songs that are great to dance to. Just anything that sounds good, to be honest. I think content-wise, like who's gonna fact-check everything? I mean, but just don't go like crazy and say like you're a mob boss and like 20 Rolls Royces and all those stuff.
When you're just eating chicken rice at Amokyo or something.
Exactly. So yeah, I think as long as it sounds good. But like I think in Singaporean context, I think like the trend is to, or not the trend, But I think the strongest form of hip hop is to do English with your second language.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that is really what the identity is slowly becoming now.
Yeah, correct. Because like with the mother tongue is like a little bit more rich in the culture lah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as a Singaporean, what can you really complain about? Like maybe your district is part of worker party, then you're like, never improve the streets. That's about it, right? No? There's nothing much, Singapore is like so, I would say well made really.
Yeah.
You 3 a.m. you can go buy supper, without the risk of getting stabbed or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, really.
But then you also have rappers from Switzerland. We think like, okay, what problems do they have then?
Switzerland rappers.
Yeah, really good rappers as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think it's a matter of how you write.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily write about like you being from the hood and like you struggling. You can write about normal stuff in the suburbs, in your middle income house or your higher income house, and like, and people will still like it because there's always an audience for whatever you put out.
Or maybe you might not even need to tell your own story. You can just tell somebody else's story or something.
You can paint a picture, right? Like a lot of artists are doing that now. Like like Drake and all that. Like they just sort of create a narrative around the song, and then they write a song. And
I guess that's why great artists is like once in a generation kind of thing, because it's like they can write something that's relevant to what people like. At the same time, they live through these crazy experiences, and then the trend and the authenticity match.
Yeah. Like exactly like that song Roxanne. Who the hell is it about? Who's Roxanne? And what situation are we in? But we like it, right? It sounds good. So
yeah. TikTok really helps make everything.
Yeah, amplifies everything.
Yeah, that's why. Will you like write songs based off of TikTok one day, or you're just gonna like do it how you feel it?
You mean
because you're saying like now the algorithm is like screwing everybody up.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like focus on it, learn how to play the game?
I mean, I'm learning TikTok, not the best at it, but I understand the importance of it, like how to really push the music out and like experiment new things.
Difficult, man. Yeah. So what is like your typical process like when you are like putting out a song? Okay, so you produce the beat first?
Yeah, I mean, I produce the beat first, but I actually write along while producing the beat.
Oh.
So like I might do like the verse and then I already write the verse.
Or back and forth.
Then do the pre-hook and then I write. So I like to write right on top of whatever I'm producing so that, I make it a little bit more adjustable. And then the ideas come quick and then I forget it quick as well. So I need to put it down very quickly. Sometimes I might produce a bit, produce a bit, record a bit.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best process for me.
Yeah. I believe it is the same for me as well, which is why I don't understand how the hell people like Jay-Z and Lil Wayne do it. Like they just go inside and everything.
Yeah, I think they got everything.
That one's like next levels, Yeah,
they got everything up in the head and then just spit it out. But that's for raps. Like that, you can do that for raps. But if you're going for melodies, I think you need to go along to the beat. You can't just write the song
when you're both the singer and the rapper and the producer. You need to record down. If not,
I got so many ideas at once, so I need to put it down.
Yeah, correct. And then once everything is recorded, mixed, mastered, and then you put it out on your DSP. Everything is like in-house. You are like indie. You do it everything yourself.
Yeah, I basically do everything. Like I've started like videography as well, which is the hardest thing on earth.
Whoa.
To be honest, like the last video that I did, the games you play with Afro Ben, a Singaporean rapper as well. So that one we shot that at Marina Barrage. It was my first time doing a music video actually. So it didn't suck as bad as I thought it would be. So.
Did you like self-direct or then you get like a helper to? Like
no, it was just two of us. So I basically set the camera up and tell him like, okay, this scene, let's do that. And then he was also bouncing off ideas with me, and then we sort of.
Oh damn! There's only two of you.
Yeah, there's only two of us.
And two of you are in the video.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
A mic stand does wonders.
Wow.
I mean, a camera stand.
Yeah, and then you have to like post-edit like that movement.
That's the hardest part, actually, the post-editing. So like I watch all these like YouTube tutorials. It's just to cut costs. Because back then, like when I was like a younger guy, right? And I remember being like fresh out of like the army and you don't have a lot of funds. You're not really working a full-time job then. They were quoting me like $2,000-3,000 just for a music video.
Damn.
Like, bro, chill, it's my first one, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, I don't have that kind of money. That's like a full salary for someone at that age.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then I just started cutting costs. I started filming my videos. Like, now what I do is when I go on like holidays or overseas, I always see like a really nice landscape and I just start shooting there. So it's nice. It's very fulfilling, actually. I don't care about the views anymore. I just want to get better at it.
Will it come to a point where you are like making enough that you can actually like hire someone that is like more worth your time?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have like a videographer to just roll around and shoot videos, not just of me. I would like to do it for other people as well. Not be a videographer myself, like for example, like a collective, and then get new artists in. Like I really enjoy bringing someone who's like a clean slate, who has the talent but haven't released any songs. That's the sort of people I like working with, because you can sort of mold what their sound can be and, you know, push them to certain limits that they don't even know.
They must be coachable lah.
Yeah.
And then you are producing the music and then you're also doing the video and then they are like singing on it or rapping on it or something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, there's a lot of trust involved as well.
Yeah, correct. But then the thing is like, you have to like kind of create a system for yourself first lah, because essentially people are relying on you to boost their own career, right?
Yeah.
So somewhat you also must have a successful career yourself.
Yeah, you definitely need the numbers.
The track record. Yeah. So that's the difficult part lah for both of us, I guess. I'm trying to do the same thing as well here over this, but in an EDM soundscape lah. I guess yours is more like singer-songwriter kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, to what you said, I agree with that. Like, you really need like the numbers to justify why people should, you know, invest their trust in you or, you know, believe you in the long run. Makes sense.
And then also, when it comes to money, Spotify or any DSP, right? Typically it's like $3 per 1,000 viewers. The cost
is it $3?
CPM.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like standard one. Like, agak, I think now maybe lower, $2.50 or $2. Yeah.
It's even lower now?
Yeah. Every year it's just because more and more.
Yeah, more and more people,
right? Sharing the same piece of pie, right?
Yeah.
And the pie is advertisers advertising on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people paying monthly subscription, but the monthly subscription also not much part of their revenue. It's mainly advertising.
Yeah, it's like you pay like what, $11 a month?
Yeah, $11 a month. Yeah.
No, but okay, it's a lot. We got like 6 million people. Do we have 6 million?
How many people use Spotify? You know, because there's also Apple Music, there's also Amazon.
Yeah.
So many.
They have
right?
Deezer as well.
Deezer, yeah.
A lot of people starting to use Deezer. They actually pay out the best.
Yeah. But when you like, I don't know what you use. Are you using DistroKid or something like that? Or
no, I have a distributor, Believe Digital.
Believe. Oh, okay. Yeah, but when they distribute, it's like they distribute to all the.
Yeah, every single one actually.
Yeah, that's why. So it's like everything you can like try to like, milk it lah. Yeah. So speaking of like the monetization is not really good from streams ah. I think what music is good at is like, for example, your song 10 million, right? And then then you're famous, and then from there you can latch onto other things to monetize lah. So like, for example, a very good example is like all the rappers with their brand, like, you know, 50 Cent and Vitamin Water, Beats by Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Ace of Spade, right? Do you have like a product that you have in mind that, you know, you want to like Louie Indigo?
You know what? Like, as weird as it sounds, right? Like, I always wanted to create my own sort of dog food.
That's so random.
Organic dog food. Because I love dogs, right? Like, I try to like...
Snoop Dogg make dog food, bro.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, Snoop Dogg biscuits or something.
The brand congruence.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, I really like the pet sort of food because I want the pets to live longer. So that's the whole reasoning behind wanting to create dog food.
Okay. I don't know about scalability, but that's definitely like super interesting as one of your main brands.
Yeah, I mean, I love dogs. I could like be with 20 dogs in the house.
Ooh. Do you have like a pet yourself?
Yeah, I have a dog. Yeah, I've always had dogs like my whole life.
Is the upkeep like very, very? You need to bathe the dog. Walk the dog.
Yeah, you need to like shower. You need to walk the dog. You need to feed the dog. Clean up after the dog. But that's about it.
Oh, you know the major reason why I don't want to have a dog, right, is when the dog die, right? Wow, I feel like I'll be damn sad.
That's the hardest part. Yeah, it's like losing a kid or a brother or...
So you have a dog your whole life?
Yeah.
Which is like how many, you are like cycle through how many dogs already?
Like about like 6 or 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude. Then do you like face any one of them like die or you like sell the dog or what?
So like most of them died because of old age.
Which is like what, 10 years?
10 years to 13 years on average. I
Okay.
think that's a dog's lifespan. But those are big dogs. I think smaller dogs can go up to like 16, 17. That's quite possible.
Wow.
With the right food.
It's like, is this some like golden retriever?
Retrievers don't last long actually because
it?
they've got like a lot of hip problems and their size as well. So their arteries might be clogged because of too much fat.
Oh, because I thought like medium to large size dog usually can live quite long one.
The smaller ones live longer. The smaller ones are healthier, yeah.
Smaller dogs.
So they have lesser body fat also, right? Which affects their heart and all that. So
yeah, so what are some of the dogs that you have, and how do you deal with their death?
I mean, the breeds of dogs.
Yeah.
Like Jack Russell, the one I have is a Pomsky, Golden Retriever, Singapore Special.
Singapore Special? What?
Yeah.
What's that?
Mongrel.
Okay.
Yeah, these few breeds. Am I forgetting anyone? Yeah.
Right.
It's always alternating between these 4-5 breeds.
Then when the dog die, do you like
it's devastation. It's devastation.
Do you buy another dog or what? What's the process of getting a dog? To be honest. One die already, you not go to the shop and buy another one or something like that, right? What the fuck?
You probably have to wait like 6-7 months.
You have to wait.
There's like a mourning period, like.
This is a self-imposed rule,
Yeah.
Not like the shop will stop you from buying.
No, if you buy it
recently.
it's so vicious for you to like buy a new dog the next day.
Yeah.
It's like okay, like
rebounds, yeah.
Yeah, like you lose your son and then the next day you adopt another kid the next day, you know.
Actually, adopt another kid. I don't know whether is it a bad thing or not. Maybe like, you're like giving the new kid a better living condition,
But you can't give the kid as much love when you're grieving, right?
Yeah. Well, then you go to work moody, then people are like, hey,
what happened? Like, you said my dog died. Oh, just a dog. And then they don't get it. They won't get it.
Well, I don't have a dog, but I really can feel like the devastation in these. Yeah, I want like 6 dogs. The fuck, every devastated.
Can't live without. Like the house is too quiet without a dog. I think, or a cat.
Yeah, I think it's
even a bird, to be honest.
The moment you have a pet, right, it's like never ending. So maybe you can let us know what are like your future plans, because you're like moving abroad already, not staying much in Singapore already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like from a music perspective, like I'll keep doing music. Let's see. I mean, let's see how far it goes and like how well it does.
Yeah.
I'll continue to make music anyways until like I'm too old. I feel like I've opened like a vortex that I cannot close.
Yeah.
I'll just keep making music, honestly. I don't care about the streams at this point.
Yeah.
Don't care about like whatever like extra stuff. I just want to do it because I want to do it. And then I'll stop when I want to stop.
Yeah. And there's also no pressure to try to do this, like take this like full time. It is really
I'm not pressuring myself. Like when I was younger, I used to do that a lot. I really need to hit this number, I really need to do this show, get this or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then you start losing the whole passion for everything.
Yeah, correct. Your fire kind of die down,
Yeah. You get depressed actually. Because you don't hit certain levels, and then like a lot of people don't speak about it, but like I think a lot of artists have like
the greatest deaths in music, like Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, Avicii. It's all about like I can't be better than Nam.
They try to keep changing. The worst is if you hit that one golden ticket, right? You spend your whole life trying to reach that feeling again, or feel that feeling again, that high again. Keep chasing the high. Like it can be a very small high, but like some people just think that it's the most important thing in the world, right? But I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and then see how it goes. Try new sounds. Try different projects.
Yeah, consistency will win because like you say, it takes a next level of crazy, right? To just keep doing it.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Despite not seeing the numbers, not seeing the money, right?
Yeah.
Just because you like it,
Yeah, you just gotta love it, honestly. If you don't love it, then it can't last long.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much. I think that's it for today.
Thank you very much for having me on.